Russian servicemen transport the Western equipment captured in the battles in Ukraine to the territory of Russia. The relevant images were distributed on Russian Telegram channels. The Russian army has captured some of the Western equipment used by the Ukrainian army. Various armored combat vehicles damaged in the battles, including armored vehicles, were packed into trucks and taken to the territory of Russia.
The number of Russian soldiers voluntarily surrendering to the Ukrainian army to save themselves is increasing. For this purpose, the number of applications for the Ukrainian state project, I Want to Live, is increasing. A quarter of all deserters in the Russian army come from the occupied territories of Donetsk and Luhansk, reports the Ukrainian state project I Want to Live. The project came to this conclusion after analyzing the lists of servicemen of the Russian armed forces received from our guys who were given the status of deserter or unauthorized abandonment of the unit in Russia. The majority of deserters and unauthorized abandonment of the unit are servicemen who come from Ordlo or temporarily occupied separate areas of Donetsk and Luhansk regions, where Russia is carrying out illegal mobilization of the local population, the statement said. In numbers, 25.6% of all deserters and special units that were included in the lists were from Ordlo. For comparison, Rostov Oblast is in the second place with 2.7%. Also, 12 out of 20 units that lead in the number of deserters are units formed in the LDNR, the project reports. They recalled that it is those mobilized from the Donetsk and Luhansk regions who are the lowest caste in the Russian army. They are even called disposable soldiers. They use them as they are called. Russian generals are the first to send them to storm fortified positions. When in 2022 the Russian army invaded from the territory of Belarus, Kursk and Bryansk regions in an attempt to capture Kyiv, units of the so-called LPR and DPR were sent to storm positions in Donbass, fortified with concrete since 2014. They carried out these assaults wearing helmets from World War II and with Mosin rifles of the 1891 model. They say in I Want to Live, nothing has changed now. It is precisely those mobilized from the Donetsk and Luhansk regions who were dying en masse on the front lines in Belogorovka, Toretsk, the Avdiivka and Pokrovsk areas, the project asserts. It is noted that they are the last to be returned from captivity, so it is not surprising that many try to escape from the Russian army. As media reported earlier, starting from the beginning of next year, Ukrainians in the temporarily occupied territories who have renounced their Russian citizenship will be deprived of the right to reside and a number of social rights. Starting from January 1st, 2025, the invaders plan to deprive stateless persons, i.e., local residents, of their residency status. The Russian government also adopted a resolution on the permissible share of foreign workers at enterprises, which provides for a significant limitation of jobs from 2024. We are talking about Ukrainians who refused to take the enemy's passport. In addition, the occupiers have obliged local schools under their control to issue health insurance policies to senior school children aged 14 and over. However, the condition for issuing is that the teenager must obtain a Russian passport as well as a Russian passport of one of the parents.